Hey, we back. We back again. Hey, we back again. Everybody on the left. Everybody on the right.
Hey, almost got my church shoes out.
Oh, y'all in the back.
Let me get my Martin Luther King fan out.
Oh, man, we back. What up, podcast land? It's your boy, Brentel. And today, we are podcasting from the I Can't Afford to Quit podcast network. Today, we have the illustrious, unpredictable...
It's Milani J, y'all.
Yes.
You already know who it is. When you said unpredictable, it was a wrap.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, it's the I Can't Afford to Quit podcast.
And it's the first, so...
Yeah, the first Black History Month.
Yeah, and y'all food stamps is loaded.
Wow. Good deal. How you been?
I've been doing good. Taking life one day at a time.
You said living one day at a time.
Yeah.
You got any events going on?
Yes, actually. I have the, it's actually my son. He's doing the talent show here in Fremont. They're doing a talent showcase. Him and his cousin Huddy, they're going to team up and host this talent show for the kids out here. I hope kids show up and stuff like that, because parents always talking about how they want to brag on their kids and stuff, but then when an event happens, they ain't nowhere to be found. Well, if you really want to brag on your kids, then set them up for good opportunities.
As far as like what day? I'm sorry. What day is? I told you I'm gonna get my network together.
I know that's right.
As far as the date and time, let people know.
So the date for the talent showcase is going to be February the 10th.
Okay.
And it starts at 7:00. If your kids are not there, though, I think at 3:30 is when they're going to be doing the sound check.
Okay.
And if you don't have your kids on time, they will not perform, because I don't play them games.
So the black kids ain't gonna be performing. Okay.
Lord. And it's at the JFAC in Fremont.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a good event, man.
I'm hoping it is. People always complaining about, there's nothing going on. Nothing
for the kids.
We don't have anything for the kids. And then when you do something for the kids, it's like crickets. Well, you need to get your kids down there. Always bragging on your baby. Oh, my baby can dance. My baby can sing. Well, let's see.
I think it's you creating a positive event and something cool for the community and the kids. I think it's going to be successful.
I hope so. We pray on it.
Yes. Let's see. We'll open up with positive black news.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I feel like doing.
Okay, let's talk. Yeah, it is Black History Month. Let's open up with something positive. And
then we'll just bring you guys back down after.
Yeah, just like white folks. Let me stop.
That's at Milani J. Let's see. We have the youngest district judge in Pennsylvania. He's 27. A young black man named Hanif Johnson. Democrat. Let's see. He won his seat in general election of Dauphin County Magisterial District in Pennsylvania on election day last year, becoming the youngest magistrate district judge in the state at 27 years old.
That's dope.
That's super dope.
Like, I don't even know what else to say about it except it's dope.
That's super excellence.
I like the quotes he said too.
Mm-hmm. He said, let's see, where is it?
Here's one right here. When you sit back and you see Donald Trump become president and you hear about all these things we are being affected by, it seems like everything happens through the court system.
That is almost like what we talked about on the last podcast, where, you know, empowerment and getting people in positions with the lawmakers, people that make the decisions in the courtroom and whatnot. This young man definitely understands that's what needs to happen
Right.
to move forward. He graduated from Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
Omega Sci-Fi.
It does say some past history of his as well. I'm sure that probably prompted him to go to college, graduate, and do what he needed to do to make a difference in his community. Because
Why is this not being like a major story?
I know.
I feel like this should be viral. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they don't like to speak on positivity in the black community.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'll be all over the news what, black person got shot or what black person got lynched or what black person got busted for selling this amount of drugs. But when it comes to anything positive, the only positivity that black people hear about each other is when another black positive influence decides to speak on it. And I mean, that's just welcome to Black America. That's just, and that's a fact, and that's why they want to shut up people like Angela Rye, and they want to shut up people. Or am I saying her name right? Angela, yeah.
They want to shut up.
That is the Bay. They want to shut up people like that, but people like Omarosa, they'll listen to her all day.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Angela Rye, did you see her special on BET for those in response to the State of the Union?
Oh, no, I did hear her interview with Ricky Smiley's morning show, though.
Oh, they were talking about it?
Yeah, I think they were.
Yeah, she had a lot of interesting, people that are within politics, like political figures, come and show up, and like political analysts, and they were all black, and they all broke down, what's going on and like what was said in the actual State of the Union, and it was good. And Auntie Maxine was there.
You gotta love her.
And
you gotta love her.
Yeah, like, it was cool because I just watched it before you came here.
Okay.
And Ava sat down. She didn't move. She watched the whole thing.
So even someone as young as Ava, which his daughter is only like 10.
Yeah.
And then you already know it had to be powerful thing. So what points did they really hit on that you thought that they needed to be said?
There was a guy, I can't remember his name, but one of the guys on the panel, he said, talking about how 85% of district attorneys in this country are white, and how that needed to change, and how the political pact that he's involved with is, pushing forward to get black voters registered and getting them to hit the booth.
Right.
And there was a lady she was actually a mayor. She's a mayor in Georgia, I think, or governor, one of the two. But she had this agenda that she was pushing about getting unregistered voters in Georgia registered, and it was like 500,000 black people were not registered in Georgia.
Dang.
It's like 578,000, I believe.
Where are their foot soldiers at?
They're there now. They had an initiative to work on that. You know what I mean? And I guess Georgia is like, it's a red state, if I'm not mistaken. But if we got the voter restriction laws, things of that like that. You know what I'm saying? Trying to repress black votes and people of color and marginalized people, but that has to do with why the 500,000 is not registered. Because think about it, you have the time for voting is short. You know what I mean? They shorten it. They make it difficult. When you get there, you got to have your ID. You got to have, you know what I'm saying, all of these forms of identification. If your ID doesn't match with what they have in your log or where your name is, you got to bring a utility bill,
right.
Things of that nature.
Just anything to try to
repress
right.
the votes. Okay, so you think about it, they changed how many actual days you can vote. You know what I mean? They're shrinking it, making it as hard as possible for people who don't have transportation, have to work long hours.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got childcare. You can't. I got to ride the bus to go vote.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So.
Well, and that's another issue that you were going to talk about as well with the marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? The marijuana laws.
Yeah, San Francisco was. Well, we'll get there.
Right.
But all in all, for this young man to be, voted in and being the youngest magisterial district judge that's huge for him, and it's an inspiration to other people around.
And for the culture.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely a big movement for the culture, because if younger African American men and younger women can see that, and they can say, and he can tell his story, because we were reading up just a few minutes ago, and it said that he's been on the other side of the courtroom as well, going to jail and stuff like that. And if he can, tell his testimony or his story, and even being a judge to a younger male that is in trouble,
black male,
right?
Like that, where you humanize them because you've been in that position, where as a lot of white judges, when it comes to black, defendants, they don't see them as their sons or neighbors or nieces and nephews. They don't see them as them, so they don't. They're not going to give you that break that you would give a family member or somebody.
Why is this spider trying to get in the podcast? Wow. Look, it's really trying to be involved. No, but in all seriousness, when it comes to that, I really do feel like you said, the humanize, just him saying, "Hey, man, I've been in this predicament too. This is what I did. This is who I am now, and you can do that as well." And I think that a lot of times, if they see it, I mean, because people here, especially like you said, in certain environments and stuff like that, people don't, black kids don't see black judges. Well, they don't see right. I'm just like, in certain environments, like I said, definitely. In certain places.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't
right.
Say
in
that.
Certain environments, they don't see black judges. They don't see, like, when people were growing up, like, even my husband was saying, like, when we were watching the Cosby Show, we just thought of it as a show. My husband is from Brooklyn. He's from the projects. He didn't think any of that was real. How could there possibly be a black family who owns a house that has a dad as,
doctor,
a doctor,
and a mom's a lawyer,
and a mother as a lawyer, like, and they have 5 kids? Like, come on now, that's what he thought. But getting out in the world, it's like, yeah,
that should really be happening.
Yeah, right. It really be happening, and it's different when you see it rather than you just hear about it. So I think that this man, kudos to him, his positivity, and
I hope he moves up and we see him on a national level,
right?
And possibly being the president. I mean, I don't know if that's what he wants
because, like
to
you
do,
said, this should really should have went viral. Like, this should really be on the headline news. But
shout out to Hanif Johnson. Next on the docket, we have the San Francisco will apparently clear thousands of marijuana convictions dating back to 1975.
That's dope. I did tell you that I'm doing that campaign for Fremont as well, right?
Yes, that's what I wanted to do.
Oh, goodness.
But The San Francisco District Attorney Office said it will retroactively Proposition 64. Retroactively apply Proposition 64, which this year legalized recreational use of marijuana for adults who are 21 and older. California voters approved the measure in 2016, and the law took effect this year. The district attorney said it will review and recall and resentence as many as 4,940 felony marijuana convictions, in addition to dismissing 3,038 misdemeanors. While the drug policy on the federal level is going backwards, San Francisco is once again taking the lead to undo the damage that this country has brought about with the drug war.
I mean, shout out to San Francisco.
I think this is a blueprint for you and what you want to get accomplished.
I do.
And while we're talking about that, can you roll that out?
Well,
Your initiative.
Oh goodness, I don't even know where to begin. Fremont, just in general, there is so many people that get arrested every year for and get felony charges for marijuana, like recreational, just marijuana use. And I think that the laws need to be changed on that. But this particular law that they want to try to do for the city of Fremont, which I'm going to be working on, is to get we need 800 signatures to stop the arrest for misdemeanors when it comes to marijuana use. Up to I think it says up to, I want to say 30 grams.
Okay.
And like you said before, when it comes to people voting, when it comes to stuff like that, people are getting arrested for marijuana and not being able to vote, not being able to, and
taking certain opportunities and liberties that other citizens get.
Right. And so we're trying to put a stop to that. So if we get enough signatures, and what people don't know is, as well, when it comes to changing the law, the people of the city, they have the power to change the law.
Absolutely.
A lot of people don't know that, if you get enough signatures, you get enough of your council together in your city, you can change that law. A lot of people think that it's up to, the state, the district, the government, but it's not. So that's what we're going to try to work on, because there's too many Black and Latino.
As far as like people who have had convictions, would there be a way that, I'm just thinking, like, I'm just throwing this out here.
Okay.
As far as like housing and other opportunities, like, I think those is something that should be put in the initiative too. Like, they get those opportunities back. Like, don't just red flag them for a loan. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or
right.
they can't get financial aid at schools and shit like that. I think that should be something that, that's a federal level, but still.
Oh, well, I think that
locally too.
Yeah, right. Well, I think this initiative is a start. It's a start.
Absolutely.
Like, you can't just for the simple fact that you can't get arrested for it. That's because that's what it is. If someone gets caught with a certain amount on them, you can't get arrested.
Is it a ticket?
No, we're trying to just eliminate it up to 30 grams, period. Like, you can't even get in trouble, arrested, nothing for it at all. Because they're trying to, make sure that like, okay, hey, you can't really arrest this person for this amount.
You're really trying to decriminalize
That's
marijuana.
Exactly what it is, decriminalizing it. Because it's ridiculous. The amount of, this can be, you can talk about this on so many different levels, but as far as marijuana is concerned, that's probably the safest drug out right now. If you want to call it a drug. So let's not do that, people. Let's not sit here and act like, you know how many medications and chemicals are in aspirin. So
Right.
we're not gonna. We don't need to get too deep into it, but I think that it's a positive step in the right direction.
Cool. Personally, how do you feel about the actual laws and things of that nature as far as involving marijuana right now?
I think that is complete bullshit because marijuana, to me, marijuana is not a drug. I've always advocated marijuana. Marijuana is something that, like, especially people that are sick. If you actually look up the effects that marijuana have, they're all positive. The only thing that makes marijuana negative is the people that say that it's negative, and the only thing
that has a racial connotation as well, because when hippies used it, it was like this cool peace drug or whatever.
Well, and that's the same thing. Willie Nelson. He's a big advocate. Everybody thinks he's so cool and relaxed and laid back, and But then when it comes to any
people
other
of
culture,
color.
then it's like, oh, there goes those drug dealers. There goes those,
it's criminalized.
Right. And that's the same thing with when they get arrested for it. When a high school kid gets arrested, 17, 18, when they not even get arrested. When a high school white kid gets pulled over and he has weed in his pocket, they tell them to throw it out. Throw it out and go home, Timmy, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? When
that goes back to
but 17 and 18-year-old Marquise gets it.
Yeah.
He getting booked.
That goes back
and then
to,
that goes on the record. And then he can't vote. Now he can't
Yeah,
now he can't
so
get his
many
license.
things he can't do.
He can't get his license back because he has $2,000 worth of fines. So it's just it's just a cycle that they set up for certain people to not be able to push forward. And it's ridiculous because how many accidents have been caused? How many, because of marijuana? I have not seen not one car accident being labeled yet that says, "Oh well, they're recently starting to do some commercials and stuff like that. Of like, well, even if you're, any type of high, you're high. Whether it be marijuana, alcohol, whatever. But they just started coming out with stuff like that. Let's just be honest and put it out there. The only reason that people are having, especially the government, is mad at marijuana users or anything that has to do with marijuana is because they cannot find a way to tax it and make money off of it. Period. That's all it's ever been about.
Yeah, they got to get their piece.
Yeah, they have to get the piece of the pie. And if they don't get the piece of the pie, then y'all
can't have it.
Right, y'all can't have it, because Uncle Sam want his, and that's all it's ever been about. Fuck the cancer patients that actually need, that actually need it.
Right.
No, and all the other people that actually benefit off of the...
Fuck the benefits that it could have.
Right.
Benefits.
Right, the positive benefits that it can have. Let's just keep pumping them with all these different toxins because we make money off of it that way. Yeah, so they love the pharmaceuticals.
Yeah. Do you want to get into depressing black news or? Yeah, that's pretty much everything.
Oh, you said depressing.
Yeah,
Do
you want to do some? Do you want to do? Okay, I found this Facebook article. It's let's see, Facebook. They have algorithms, right? And their trending topics will now be automated.
Okay.
Yeah, they're trying to. The change comes from the social network being accused of suppressing conservative viewpoints.
Okay. I'm just trying to follow and see what
where it's going.
Yeah.
Okay. They decided to rely on computer algorithms instead of human editors to select news stories for its trending topics section. Basically, is what. Okay. Now, do you know what that means, right?
I'm scared to know what it means. That's why my mind is spinning right now.
Okay. What this means is when you have when you remove the human element of the algorithms and shit. Well, not even the algorithm is just that's computer, but when you remove the human element of what you're generating, the content that you're generating, there's a default, right? And what is the default in this country?
Racism.
No. The default in this country is whiteness. So basically, what's going to happen is how we talked about that young man not going viral. It's going to be harder to get in the trending topics of this actual platform because of they're worried about being they were worried about being accused of suppressing conservative viewpoints. So what that means is there's going to be more basically Facebook is going to be allowed to be more racist.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah. So on to more other
Do you think that at this point in time that there will be anything that can compare to Facebook, or if
compete
Facebook,
with it? Or?
Right, or if it, because I'm honestly, Facebook's been going strong for a while, but I'm waiting for them to phase out. MySpace phased out. You know, like things. You know, there's only like a given time where.
But they keep recreating themselves.
That's
you got to think Facebook been there when MySpace was going on. It just wasn't open to the public. It was just a college forum, like a college platform. And Facebook done bought other social medias to get rid of them and add to their platform. So they're, I don't know, man. It's a behemoth right now.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, like, I just feel like it would be a whole nother it would be a whole nother, because they're like you said, because they're so big on their platform, and because that's like how a lot of people make their money and do their
we got to add in the fact that they started doing TV shows.
What?
Yeah, there's TV shows. There are reality TV shows, and there's actual TV shows that they're going to be bringing. They're going to be bringing more content.
Oh, goodness.
To Facebook. They're trying to keep you on Facebook. So I don't see this. I don't see this going away anytime soon.
Oh, so we weren't gonna do the Monique on them, huh? We wasn't going Monica.
Speaking of Monique, what did you think about that? What was your thoughts on that?
Oh goodness, man. I feel like she might have a point, but because you can't. This is the thing with Monique, and you know, I love all my black women, you know, but you cannot burn bridges with so many diverse people and then get mad after the fact that they're not supporting you. It doesn't work that way in any industry. You can't you can't burn all these bridges and then turn around and be like, but we sisters. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. What you should have done years ago is apologize for your actions. And she got upset because she said, well, you didn't ask so-and-so to apologize, and you didn't ask, them to apologize. Okay, but they're white and they're on a whole different platform than you are.
Apologize for what?
When she got on,
you talking about when Amy Schumer had that campaign about when she went public about not getting as much money as Dave?
I think she was saying, I'm talking about when Monique had the interview with someone, and she was just like, well, because they were saying that, right,
Sway or
right, when she was saying like, oh well, all those people didn't have to apologize, so why are you gonna ask me to apologize? And it's like,
not even that. All those other people, I don't know who she was referring to, but if she was referring to black people, you pissed off all the gatekeepers.
Right.
You're going to have to swallow your pride.
It's not like
you pissed off Oprah. You pissed off Lee Daniels.
Like I said, you can't
Tyler
burn
Perry.
bridges with the biggest people. Like if you're gonna, you can't burn those type of bridges and then think that
I mean,
they're supposed to
who
support
else
you.
is left? Who else is left? What, John Singleton, Spike Lee? She gonna piss them up too?
Oh, they ain't gonna. Once you get,
what I'm
she
saying?
blacklisted.
For real, for real.
For one, you are blacklisted. Once you cross certain people,
Oh yeah.
there's nothing that John
Because
Singleton or
they-
Spike Lee can do for you now.
They can get blacklisted for fucking with you.
Exactly, and they're not going to risk that.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to, because it almost comes to a point where it's like, oh, okay, you got to pick a team.
Mm-hmm.
Either you with us or you're against us. And she has to come to a point within herself to say,
What? Okay.
my ego is fucked up, and I apologize because I am not the most decorated comedian.
That ego is a motherfucker.
It really, truly is, and
It's
she
dangerous.
should have knew on husband number 3 that her ego was
I didn't
fucked.
know. Oh damn. Okay.
After
Okay. That's why we got Melanie Jake
There-
in the building.
there is something wrong, honey, and it's not the other
Okay.
person; it's you.
Okay. No. This is my outside perspective on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Check this out. She been with him. Her husband is her manager, correct?
Now, which one? 'Cause
This dude.
This
this
is
dude,
the third
this man-
one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The current husband is her manager.
Okay.
Okay. Obviously, there was the initial, issue was the 500,000.
Okay.
Right. You presented the actual stand-up to them. They
Okay.
didn't come seeking you. What does that mean? You're not hot right now.
Right.
Because
You
Netflix
looking
can't
for
wait.
work.
They can't wait to give out money. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you came to them, they know that you don't have the upper hand in this situation.
Right.
You can either go to another platform.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to HBO, Freeform. You can go to Epix. There's so many different apps and platforms out that you can actually
Right.
sell your stand-up to. Now, as your manager, he should have that planned out in the negotiating process. 2, he would not advise you to make that public video of we gonna boycott Netflix. And just the thought of that and the actual thinking process behind that is selfish. Why? Because there are other people of color that are employed with Netflix
Right.
and getting opportunities.
And why would you? Let me ask you a question. Why would you want to do that anyway? Because what would you get after the fact? Besides the fact that nobody else is going to want to work with you.
No other platforms. If she's
No,
gonna act like that,
I
I'm
think
not
we
gonna-
discussed
I'm not gonna
this
deal
with the last. No, the podcast before the last. Or, no, it was the last podcast that we did down here with the girl that supposedly got in trouble with Too Short.
Okay.
Remember how
Yeah,
she
yeah.
ran into
Yeah.
like I'm like, what do you think that you're gonna get after all that is said and done? Now you got on social
See, but
media
that's
and
different.
said,
That's different.
well, it is a lot different, but yet it's still like, okay, what are you gonna get now? Because now nobody want to fuck with you. Like
I
nobody
mean,
nobody wants to deal with you now.
Hopefully, women would want to deal with her.
Because
You know
this
what
is
I'm saying?
this is the biggest comedy special yet. She got more laughs off of that than her last stand up.
Damn.
She got more laughs off of that. Oh, she should have just sold that commercial. She would have got millions.
No, they're definitely.
I'm asking you to stand with me and boycott Netflix.
I was just looking at her like, nigga, do you?
You know how many people got tears because of that? The funny ones.
And
Like,
the fact that, like, it's only gonna be a handful
And there's
of accounts because everybody shared the same damn password.
Oh my god! And do you know how many dope series that are on Netflix right now that have black people in them? Like,
That's what I'm saying.
bitch, like stop ruining it for all of us.
Right. So you saying you want us to take our viewership off and fuck up what those people have going?
Right, like. Bitch. And you know, if I was like a friend of hers and I like happened to be on the Netflix series, like we wouldn't talk no more. I'd be like, "Fuck you, trying to take out of my, you know, out of my kids' pockets." Cause you're right, cause you mad, cause you know.
But I'm guessing the 500,000 was from some additional adage. I don't know.
She was big mad though.
They offered her $3 million, is what I heard. That I read that on a couple of different articles, but that was the. I don't remember, but the 500,000 was something else. This is all speculative. We're just having a conversation. But the 500,000 was for like promotional, like the promotional aspect of the actual
She's not
stand-up.
stable, like mentally. She's just not. She's never been one for stability. When it came to her husbands, when it came to her TV shows, when it came to, she even had her own show for a minute, and she couldn't get along with the producers, and she couldn't, like, it's like,
It's
all right,
saying
well,
that she's very difficult to work with.
right, you know,
But
and
that could be something like where you being blacklisted, they're going to put that out. They can put certain things out. But after a while, if the same thing keeps happening...
it's you,
like,
bitch.
yeah.
It's you. There's only so many times where you can point so many fingers, but we see you. Like, it's on your nose.
Why did the caption to the video said, "Please stand with me, I love us"?
And that alone just sounded ignorant.
Her
Like, don't do that.
manager is asking. Actually, I've seen the video where she was talking live on Facebook, and he was just sitting next to her over there co-signing why they fuck up their working opportunities.
Oh my god! And then she said something about Jada. Said that she kind of agreed with her, but you can name, you know, you can drop names all day, but there's not one person that's going to get down on a panel with you and sit there and say that you're correct about the things you're doing. They are not going to fuck up their careers because, you know, you can't accept the fact that you have some ego issues.
Let me go look that up real quick. You can keep going.
Yeah, I mean, it's Monique. I for one have never been like a really big fan of Monique. I mean, I understand like she was really, really empowering back in the day, you know, because, you know, she was trying to show love to all the big bitches. I get that, you know, but then, you know, reality struck and they were like, bitch, nobody trying to see all that. You need to lose some weight. So then she lost weight and, you know, tried to get her health together. And then now it just got down to the point where you don't know everything. You don't know everything. You're not on top of the world. Okay. You have to be able to work with other people. At the end of the day, you're going to have to be able to work with other people. It can't be a one-man show all the time.
Okay. All right, I got it.
Okay.
The offer was more than $500,000.
Okay.
It was a $3 million payday.
Okay.
But she had to do a live audition for Netflix, and she thought that she was above that, apparently.
Well, that sounds like that's her fault.
Ego.
There's people out there right now that are bigger than her that are still having to audition for stuff. Bitch, you ain't special. Like,
I get where you think that you are decorated, you have an Oscar, you have all of that, but your Oscar wasn't for comedy. Your Oscar was for drama. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And then she's going to try to compare herself to Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer was hot when she went and renegotiated that $11 million to $13 million. Mm-hmm. She was hot. She was coming off the TV show. She was still touring. She had movies. She was hot.
I don't really think Amy Schumer is that funny.
She's not. But we're talking about the demand, where she was going to get those. She was going to get the viewers. She was going to get.
And I mean, Monique, you forgot, honey. Amy Schumer is white. Sorry,
but
you know,
even though she's white, but she was hot.
Right, but there's gonna be more of a demand for, like, when they have those summer movies, and you got the Seth Rogens, and you got the bitch. Where do you fit at? You're 50 years old and you're still kind of fat, and you black. Like, you can only get so many roles, bitch. Play somebody's grandmama and sit down.
No,
like,
you saying the Seth Rogens and all of that? There are young, new gatekeepers, but will she be willing to fuck with them? As far as black gatekeepers that are coming up, that are already content creators, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, for instance, would she act right if the Issa Rae had a role for her? You know what I mean?
She can't come in the gate demanding what part she gets, and that's the type of person she seems like she is. No, I don't want that. I want that part, and it's like, no, bitch.
Or I get the part, but I'm gonna ad lib.
Right. No, you're going to do what they ask you to do, or, you can go down and get them donuts again.
Or, no, not even them donuts. You're going to be on Facebook, on Instagram, making another one of the videos.
Oh, shoot. I'm saying, but, I don't think that the people that she's surrounded herself with, like, I would never, right, her husband, I would never, like, who's her team? Because I would never, like, even, like, does this bitch have friends? Because even if she, like, I would never, Brentel, who's your, Monique? It's Milani J speaking.
Baby. Monique, baby.
This is Milani J speaking, Monique. I need you to call, hit me up on Instagram, please. J._Milani. MELANI. We need to know. Who are your top 3 friends? Because they should not have let you.
Whoever they are, you need to leave. Because
who did that?
Besides
the fresh face in the bun that was popping, you had no business being on there saying anything about boycotting. And first of all, do not use boycott. Don't even use that. If it's not anything that has to do, that's you, bitch. If boycotting is not a word to be fucked with.
You'll be using it for everything.
Right. Like, that's something, like, I can understand if it's, like, I was thinking, when she said, I want you to boycott, I was like, ooh, who got shot? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was thinking it was something, I was like, damn, they got one of us again. And then she was just like, oh, I'm boycotting because,
they didn't
we need you to
me.
Netflix boycott.
It was almost performative, almost like, when Kanye has his I'm black now moments, and he'd be like, boycott such and such.
Oh my God.
But any other time, he just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, but we all know that Kanye got some mental issues. Like, we all know that already.
So maybe there is a correlation.
Right. And that's why we need to do the Black Health Awareness Rally. We're working on it, people, because there's some mental issues with black people, too, that they let just slide on by. This bitch, I think she might have some. She might be, that bitch on Precious for real behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? She might be behind the scenes, Mariah Carey, wherever you are, I need you to go and find her and talk to her, because she might have some issues for real that need to be worked out. She might be bipolar and just had never gotten diagnosed. I mean,
I don't know. That's speculative. I ain't gonna put that on it, but it did seem a little awkward, weird, if you will.
Of course. I mean, like, I ain't even seen the bitch since Precious. I was like, who is this? Oh, that's Monique. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I remember her.
Where did you come from? Talking about, I need you to boycott. I was like, who is that?
Staying with you. Who are you?
Who are you? Like, oh, girl, that's Monique. Oh, I ain't seen that bitch in years.
I remember her.
Oh, okay.
Nah, it's just that's a byproduct of her not getting work because of her attitude, I guess. But I mean, you can't burn bridges with the black gatekeepers and expect to get the big roles and even get fucked with on that level, because you out there publicly saying stuff. It's just messy. It's just messy.
And no one wants to deal with a messy person, no matter how real you trying to be or whatever.
I forgot how we got on Monique. What was we talking about before that?
We was talking about what was we talking about? I don't even remember.
Facebook.
Were we?
Facebook trending. Yep.
Oh, what?
The Facebook trending topics.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was a big one, though. That was a big one.
Anywho, man.
Okay. We're gonna pray. We're gonna keep you in prayer, though.
Yes, we're gonna lift you up in prayer.
But for all black people from this day forward, do not use the word boycott. That's a serious word right there.
Okay, we need to put a standard on boycott. That's what we're gonna do here today.
Right.
Like, if a company that is a big company that is, funding, private prisons, something like that, like, that have been extremely discriminative, you know what I mean? Let's see. Oh, or the companies that don't give, black people an opportunity at all. Not like they are employing other black people and people of color. But anyway, yeah, like the busing system. Like they boycotted that because they was trying to get votes. And they shut down. They used their power. You use your power for a greater purpose when you boycott.
Right.
So don't do it for a performative agenda that helps you and not anyone else in the long run.
Right.
Because everybody else is getting paid. Dave's getting their money, you know what I'm saying? Yes, black men, but yeah, I know you want to see black women, but the way you went about it, it wasn't productive.
It really wasn't. And if anything, that just made black people look that much more
black
ignorant.
Women.
Well,
with Netflix.
Right. I mean, just you really came off as
selfish.
No, just like the bitter, the mad, what they call it, the mad black woman. That's that mad black woman syndrome. Like, and that's what she looked like, the mad black woman. Like, oh, there's that bitter bitch. Like that's how she came off. And I'm like, Monique, no. I wasn't ready. No. Don't do that. Like I really felt like the grandmother in church that wanted to pinch her. You know what I'm saying?
Quiet pinch.
Yes. Situate. I wanted to do that, and make that face.
Situate.
That's what I wanted to do. Because it was just an embarrassment. It was an embarrassment. And I don't think that she realized, and she probably realized it now that there were so many people that gave her the negative feedback.
But at this point, if you're Netflix, you don't want to fuck with her now, right?
If you're any network, you're not going to want to fuck with her ever again. Because now it's like, okay, like I said, she came off as the mad, bitter, vengeful. I'm going to show you. Nobody wants to work with somebody who has revenge, who's plotting on you. Like, I don't want to work with this bitch. Because as soon as
something don't go her way, she could be going public and talking bad.
Right. Like, damn, I mean, I thought I gave you 2 sugars with your coffee, but I wasn't for sure. You know what I'm saying?
You gonna boycott?
Yeah, like, people, her assistants coming and bringing her coffee or what, and I wanted 2 sugars. And it's like, okay, now she getting on here talking shit about, how our producers didn't get. It's just like, okay, we can't have her. Somebody who messed up their career real bad before their career really got started. Not saying that they really had a career, but still.
The shade.
Tommy. From Love and Hip Hop. Like, was it Love and Hip Hop? Yeah, it was Love and Hip Hop. Yeah. Because she got on some talk show and was acting an ass backstage about how the makeup artist was doing her makeup. Yep, that was the last time I've heard from her in a while. Wow. Nobody's gonna fuck with you after that. Choose your battles, people. Choose your battles.
Okay, we'll move on. We praying for you, Monique. Allegedly. Well, now you don't even know allegedly. Man accused of stealing his own coat at an Old Navy store hires an attorney. He ready to, needless to say, guess the race. He was black.
What happened? I gotta hear this. What happened?
A man has alleged store associates store associates in Old Navy store racially profiled him over his jacket. James Conley III visited the clothing retail company in West Des Moines, Iowa. Didn't know black people there. January 30th, he said he was accused of not paying for a blue bubble coat he wore into the store, and now he's hired 2 attorneys, according to Des Moines Register. He was checking out. They have the video of the encounter. He put it on Snapchat. Smart guy, about to get your money. It looks like from the video they was just following the shit out of him. But he had a blue bubble coat, and it was kind of fly. He had a dope ass hat too, to go with it. But they stopped him, and they tried to get him to pay for the jacket that he had on.
Yeah, he finna get paid. Getting paid.
He said, "I was checking out of purchasing hoodies when I was asked if I wanted to purchase the jacket I was wearing."
First of all, I'm put it out there. I'm not a fan of Old Navy. Old Navy, you're not that fly. Like, you got the same shit every year, and all you do is make money off of like mediocre people. It just says Old Navy on everything. Like, stop. I mean, it ain't like no top 1%. No, I did mean it. I mean, I'm not saying that. I meant to absolutely. Shit.
I said it now.
I said what I said. No, I'm just saying. I'm not saying like it's not like a high class like type store.
It's not like high fashion.
Right. Like, I get Old Navy stuff for Kai sometimes. My son, he's 11 or whatever. You go in there and get
they
like
good pants.
Yeah, $9, $10 pair of jeans, some shirts to say Old Navy, whatever. But it's not like somebody is going to like really be trying to like steal from that. It's like, dude, the bubble coat was probably like $22. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's going to be like trying to like
steal.
Right. Like, it's not even that serious. That's what I'm saying.
He said, "First I started laughing because I didn't believe what I was hearing. The store manager, Bo Carter, was very unprofessional and stereotyped me as I was a black male." He says, "Anytime someone wears Old Navy clothing, they have to always scan the customer's clothing to ensure that it was previously purchased. Where do they do that at?" That was his comment on Facebook.
First of all, okay, Milani J finna break this down for y'all. First of all, what time was it when you entered the store? Because if
daytime.
Okay, I was gonna say, because if the sun was down, and then the probability of you getting mistreated goes up.
Let's get that clear.
Let's get that out the way first. If it was daytime, then honestly, like if you went into the store, and we have to take into account that this is Iowa. I mean, I think the population there is probably like 6% black people, maybe even less than that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Let's do that, because I think that there's not even a lot of black people there, and they get really, really intimidated by the fact that there are black people. First of all, why were you shopping there? You couldn't go to like Urban Outfitters. Like, go somewhere. Go where we're going. Like, just there's not one urban store. And
that's what you just said. Go where we're going. There ain't no we're going in Des Moines, Iowa.
Like, what was he? Did it say like what he was trying to purchase? Like, was he purchasing a shirt? Oh, he went and got some hoodies. Mm-hmm. I wonder, like, if they were for him or for his kids or what. Like,
I was 8%. 8%.
8%. Okay, so I was a couple percent off. That was that 1.5 person. 1.5 person. Yeah, I was 1.5 person off. But what? I just wonder, like, who was the hoodies for? Because There's other places that you can shop. I don't fuck with Children's Place. I don't fuck with I don't fuck with none of them because they all do the same thing, and you hear so many stories about it. I got racially profiled at Children's Place, never went back, and never will shop there again because I don't know what it is about places like that, but it's like they only want white dollars. Like there's, if black people come in, okay, but they're gonna make sure you know that you're not welcome.
Speaking of that, racial profiling, did you see that Walmart video where they had all the black hair products under the glass?
Nigga, they
were talking about them $2 do rags. Oh, some $1 bonnets.
They want to make sure. They like, if we we got the section for y'all. But y'all gonna have to work hard to get
it. It was all behind the glass.
Oh my God.
Bro, I was so hot when I seen that shit. I was like, so y'all gonna put it.
They want to make sure don't nobody grease their scalp. Scalp be just as ashy. You gotta come through the key to get through this.
And the dude went to the news, he went to city council, he went through the woman, I'm sorry. She went and she pressed the issue, made it viral. And the store doubled down like, this is all multicultural stuff in this area. It's not just black people. Like, nigga, get it out the glass. Everybody else in the area took theirs out.
Jam.
They doubled down. Like, no, you niggas y'all got to go get the key to come back here. Like it's $350 PlayStations or something.
It is to us. They know how important our hair products is. They know how important it is for black people to have hair.
If I would have seen that, I don't know if I would have laughed. I would have kicked the glass. I don't know.
Oh my God, I would have laughed so fucking hard. Woo! Oh my God.
Like, yeah, we gonna need what is it called? Management to hair products? No, damn. Black hair products.
Like that is
the black hair aisle.
Yeah, the black hair aisle.
But, nigga, where did they get all that glass from? Because it was all the whole aisle. I never seen a case that was encased in the glass like that. It was used to be like 4 feet. That bitch was like a good 12, 16 feet.
They wanted to make sure. I mean, obviously, black people don't be stealing hair products.
No, not even that. That says we don't want you to feel welcomed.
Right. That if you have to have a key to open something, they want you.
That costs $1.74.
Right. They want you to know that this is not, it's here for you guys when you need it, but you got to go through the white folks, just like you have to do with everything else.
And it says like, imagine if you pressed for time, you had to ride a bus out there. I got to wait 20 minutes to get $1.74 bonnet. You know what I'm saying? I just came up here for a do-rag, bro. Let me get the. Oh, so I got to go all the way up front? Okay. What is it?
I'm the type of person that if the person opened up the thing, I would purposely knock everything off the shelves and leave and be like, oops, my fault. Just so that they could spend the extra 10 minutes picking all that shit up. Just so they could spend the extra time picking all the shit up. Like I would. Like, don't play with me. I mean, this is why it's so important for black ownership as well. Like if you have your own store or something like that, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that we have to drive all the way to Sandusky just to get hair. Why? I mean, there are black beauticians here. Like, bitch, I need you to get some hair out here so I ain't got to drive all the way. Damn. Can I get some tea tree shampoo somewhere?
That's it. Like, there's so much. We can go on for hours.
We really can.
But listen, if they got your stuff in the glass, don't buy it from them because they don't fucking value your dollars.
No.
They don't value your humanity as well. So don't even shop there.
I wouldn't.
And then,
I would have
but
to go
that's a
somewhere
privilege on us anyway. By us saying that, yeah, don't shop there. But what if there's somebody like this
That
is the
has
closest?
to
Yeah,
shop there.
this is the closest to my house. I don't have transportation to go to another store, which makes it fucked up that you got those cheap items in the glass, man. But again, back to Buddy in Des Moines, Iowa, 8% black population. You about to get your money, dog. Just hang tight.
Yeah, hold tight. Hold on to God's unchanging hand. Oh man, it's a shame that we still even got to deal with that shit. Like, for what? Do you really think that it's gonna, I wonder how he acted while everything was going on. Obviously he didn't act too bad because he didn't get shot. So, the police weren't called like out there. So he obviously, acted.
Kept his composure.
He kept his composure, which was really good. But it just makes you think, like, do people really think that somebody could be that dumb to just be like, okay, I'm gonna come in here in broad daylight.
I'm gonna buy my jacket twice.
Oh, well. Anyway, what's the guy's name? What's the guy's name? The guy that they tried to make him buy his coat back. Or whatever the case is, he's gonna get his money. Let's just say that. He's gonna get his money. What? And so.
Let's see.
Look at this.
That's funny.
It really is.
That's really funny. Let's get into a relationship talk.
Oh Lord.
I ran into this. Well, I read this article. It said 9 questions to ask on the first date, according to divorce lawyers. And the first question was, when is the last time you talked to your siblings?
The last time I talked to my siblings.
Yeah. Like, if you're on a first date, that's the first, like, the question to ask somebody.
Okay. That was the first. Okay, first question. Okay.
One of the questions, one of the 9 questions you should ask.
Okay.
To that if you're trying to get to know somebody or whatever, get to know things about.
I don't see why that would be. Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
Let's see. I see many causes of divorces caused by one person being so close to their family that they prioritize them over their marriage and have poor boundaries. Once you are married, your marriage has to be protected and prioritized over the relationship you have with your family of origin. On the flip side, bad family relationships can be a sign of personality disorders and an inability to sustain relationships in a long-term way.
That's interesting.
Do you believe in happily ever after?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying that's a question. I was
And
going to get your take on it. Like,
okay.
Why would you ask that?
Okay. Are you asking me
Yeah,
why? Okay.
why would you ask that?
Okay. Why would you ask? Do you believe in happily ever after? Because that will tell you off the bat if the person's going to be in it with you or not. Like, if you guys are on the same level. If I ask you a question and your question is something totally opposite than what I would answer it, then that will let me know where your head is at. Off rip. Like, okay, well, it ain't going to work out.
Our relationships require work and commitment. Both parties to make them work. Work and commitment from both parties to make them work. Someone who thinks happily ever after just happens is probably not going to be great.
Well, damn. Okay.
I guess they mean I guess we talking about the ending of it all. Like, where it's not having to work to get to happily ever after.
That's what I'm saying. When people say that they don't believe in happily ever after, it leads me to believe
your
like
outlook on love and like relationships and commitment.
Right, but it just when you say like, oh no, like if I asked you, do you believe in happily ever after, and you be like, no, not really, that just gonna lead me to believe that that you're not the type of person that's gonna, like you said, work for anything, or are you automatically right? Or you automatically want the out, like that.
Or you could be a realist where you know that happily ever after doesn't exist, and you're going to have to work through ups and downs in a relationship.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that could be a detailed answer somebody could give, but
right.
I don't really like that question. Are you married?
That's a good question to ask on a first date. I mean, but
separated or married means they're not yet divorced. Your date should be divorced. Period. And if they aren't divorced, that's a sign of they don't know how to, not cut ties, but tie up the loose ends.
Well, I mean, that's true.
You gotta at least be divorced.
I think things are circumstantial, though.
But you have to have to be dating. You should have your chapter closed before you try to open up another chapter.
No, I agree with that. But there are, circumstantial issues that, some people, they can't divorce at a certain time because they have maybe some financial issues, or they share Social Security, or they have, their health insurance is joint. There's a lot of circumstances that a lot of people can't really.
Okay. I hear you. I hear what you're saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm dating, I'm going to be adding more complicated shit to what I already have. That sounds as complicated as what you're talking about.
Okay.
So what that says to you as a person is, you know what I'm saying? You have problems with, it's almost like neatness.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? In your personal life.
Right.
It's cluttered and just mess.
Right. Like you need to get rid of all that first and then be able to open a new relationship.
What do you love most about your job?
That I have one.
That's a good one.
Shit.
Ask about their work. Do they have a sense of pride about what they do? Are they passionate about it? Or do they just have a job to
oh my God.
go from job to job?
Oh my God. Honestly, if I was on a date with this person, I'd be like, check, please.
If they was asking you that?
Yeah, like, it's just too many questions. Like, damn, like, can't we just eat these Cheetos? Shit, this the first date question. Ooh, it's deep in this bitch. Like, can't we just ask stuff like, what's your favorite color? Like the first date, it shouldn't be like,
because I'm not going to waste my time on another date. I need to know all this shit right now. I need to know everything. And what that says about you, what you love most about your job, that'll say if you have gotten to the place where you're actually working, doing what you love to do.
Right, like your goals that you set.
Yeah.
That just seemed real heavy for a first date. Mm-hmm. Damn. Okay.
Where did you go on your last vacation?
That's interesting.
I mean? I don't know why this is right. Let's see. What you really want to know is, how did you pay for your last vacation? But that is a hard question to ask outright. But if your date went on an extravagant vacation, you can innocently probe further. Wow, how did you pay for that? Finding out if your date made a large purchase by saving over time. Putting the trip on credit card, or which that can be very useful.
I don't like that sneaky shit.
See,
just ask me how your credit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is your credit good? Like,
how financially responsible are
right,
you? That's
like,
basically what that question
right.
is.
Just why you don't, let's not beat around the bush here.
What the fuck? Why is do you know who Johnny Carson is? Somebody wrote this. Basically, you find out how old your date is.
Just ask how old they are. Yeah. Shit. Thank goodness.
That's a dumbass question. Do you consider yourself a good communicator? Motherfucker. See, this is okay. Now these questions are starting to become stupid because when you on your date, your first date, you're not talking to the person. You're talking to their representative.
Right. They're trying to figure out who you really are, you know. And I think we talked about this before on the last podcast. Be straightforward. You know, if you want to, you know, be straightforward with the person and just come out and say, like, hey.
Are you a good communicator? Because the last motherfucker I was with.
Like, right.
No, I'm joking. Don't say that.
Do you got, how many outside kids you got? No. Just be honest. You know, be straight up because all of this. Ooh, I don't like that. I'm scared.
It said, how did your last relationship end?
We broke up, bitch. Shit. That's how it ended. We broke up. Damn. Stop trying to be.
You nosy?
What is, like, and my question would be like, what does this have to do with you? Like, you know, what does my last relationship have to do with you? Because every relationship, believe it or not, when people try to base their relationships off their old ones, it never work out.
It never work out. That's why I said closing. You got when you go from going into another relationship, you have to have. You can't just be. I was just with dude 2 weeks ago, and I just went. Now I'm with you full out, and I'm all about. It don't work like that.
Don't work that way.
You have to give yourself a grieving period. A grace period for you to get yourself together after you came to terms with the fact that you ended a relationship. Ended a relationship is like a death,
right?
You know what I mean?
It's over.
It's a death in some sorts. In some sorts. So you have to grieve. You have to. You almost you have to plan on what. No, not plan. You need to analyze what you want for your next relationship. You can't do that in. I just met this motherfucker a couple of days after I just broke up with him. It don't work like that.
No.
So, anyway, how did your last relationship end? That, like you said, you bringing other energy from your last relationship into the new relationship.
Right?
Because question. I get why you would ask the question because you want to see if there's some ownership, if that person had any fault. Or anything, but you don't know because she wasn't in a relationship, so you don't know what the truth is.
And
anyway,
and that in itself is circumstantial as well. You know, like, now, do you really want to hear the truth? Do you want to hear that? You know, I stabbed this motherfucker 4 times, and he, you know,
he got tired of me
because he went to he in jail now. You know, like, do you really want to hear? Because then you're gonna be sitting there looking like, you know, a thin line from Love and Hate, bitch. You know, like, just enjoy the moment, you know, eat them crab legs and try to work it out. Don't worry about what happened in the last relationship, and don't move so forward with it. Like, don't nobody want to just like, I'm just now getting to know you and you want to know all of what my whole heart holds in the first in the first 2 hours, you know. Well, what do you feel when you're in love? Like, nigga, I don't even know what your perfume smells like yet. You know, I don't want nothing to do with this. Like, check, please. Please give me the check. I need to let's break out this bitch now. You just don't, that first, I understand, like, if you want to really, really settle down and be in a committed relationship and stuff like that, that's what you need to come out your mouth with first. When you first sit down with somebody and say, hey, my name is so-and-so, it's nice to meet you, you know, or just, you know, I'm glad that we're out or whatever, but I'm a break it down and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm looking to settle down and I'm looking to get married. Is that something that you're interested in? If they like, no, you know, deuces, you know, oh, well, you know, it was nice meeting you. Ain't nothing else to talk about. Get your appetizer and sip your mojito and get up, because there's plenty of people out there that's going to be like, oh, yeah, because they want the draws. You know what I'm saying? But,
of course.
But, you know, you just have to differentialize what you want to get out of the questionnaire. Because, I mean, them questions is kind of...
We got another one. We got the last one.
Okay, what is it?
If you can go back in time, what is the one thing you would change about your life?
Damn. A real person is going to say nothing.
Because that's a deep ass question. Because you got, especially if you're older, there's
Right.
a lot of different situations that play back in your head that you kind of. If you gonna
Right,
ask that
okay,
question,
can I
you
look-
should ask that question. Like, I'm gonna ask you this, and then we'll talk about it when we go on a date.
Right.
Give you time to
Something-
think about that.
Yeah, because that's something hard to put on the spot, you know. But I mean, if you, like I said, if you are a real person and you're in tune, you know, self-actualization. You're at a point in your life
Oh, I'm
where
sorry.
you
Let
want
me
to.
read this. Let me read
Okay,
this.
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay,
Get your,
so self-actualization. You know, you're at a point in your life where you know what you want, you know who you are. There shouldn't be anything in your past that you would want to take back. You know, because every single part of your past has made you and
Who
put
you
you
are.
into this moment right now. So that's what I would say. Like, a real person would be like, I don't want to change nothing. Because everything that I've gone through has brought me to this point.
yeah, definitely. It says this is a fun conversation and it can reveal a lot. Ask each other what you would do differently. You could go back and do it all over again, whatever. I would live in the country far away from my mother is a bad sign. Okay, I see where you're going. I would have gone to college on the East Coast because I never had the opportunity to live there. Probably not a bad sign. I would pursue acting or become a doctor. Is probably not a bad sign. Unless the person is very discontent with their work. I should have married my high school sweetheart, with whom I still stay in touch with. Is a very bad sign. Yeah, no shit.
Lord. Oh my
Yeah. I think that question, the paragraph after it.
God. This
It
do
didn't
sound
live
like
up to the question.
white people made this. Because, you know, black answers would be like, you know, I should have never sold that key. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I should have never caught that gun charge. Like,
I should have never had them kids.
oh, shoot. I shouldn't, you know, I shouldn't have nutted in her twice. You know, like stuff like that.
Oh, that's terrible.
It is. I'm just playing.
We have more articles, but I think we got enough today.
All right.
We're gonna try to do this more frequently, so we need to say something.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. Is there anything else you want to talk about, as far as that you have going on?
We have, like, we already talked about the talent show.
Talent show that is February the 10th.
And then, since it is Black History Month, we discussed trying to do Black Health Awareness panel rally / event for the I Can't Afford to Go class. That's the podcast. So we're gonna try to do something like that. It would be dope.
Yes.
So we're working on that.
We will have further information on that
Yeah.
coming up. We're gonna, what you say, aim for like at least the last week of February.
Right.
Okay. With that being said, I don't have anything else. So we'll catch you guys in a couple days. Hey.